Welcome back to the show. Check it out. President selects new crypto appointees. Bitcoin reserve 280 trillion could pay off debt. And what's going to happen to Tether? We have things for you today you haven't seen before. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.20 for XRP. Let's take a look at this. $3.45 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 2.6%. Bitcoin, 95,600. Ethereum, 3,300 plus. Tether at the moment is 139 billion plus at the number 3 spot. Oh, we got something for you to hear when we get out of here today. You better watch this whole video. XRP 220 off by 2.9 on the 24, off by 6.7 on the 7-day here. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. We start with this from Cathie Wood. Government spending is taxation in disguise. Listen to CEO ARK Invest Cathie Wood talk in this clip. You're going to love it.
And there's been a euphoria, I'm sure you've seen it, ever since November 5th, even slightly before that, when it became somewhat clearer that Trump was likely going to win. He's promising, obviously, a much more business-friendly administration, one of deregulation. At the same time, he's also pitching fiscal policies that could potentially have some economic impact to the negative side. I am curious as to, I guess, what type of euphoria you're feeling, and more importantly, what type of caution, if at all, you're feeling as well.
Well, if you look at the performance of our funds since the election, they've far outpaced the market, outpaced the Mag 7 and so forth. So I think what the market is beginning to say is this administration is going to support innovative strategies, anything that will accelerate the growth, increase the productivity of our economy. Deregulation is going to be, we think, a very large part of that. Tax incentives, tax rate cuts as well. You mentioned perhaps the cutback in government spending programs. You know, in our mind, government spending, longer term, is taxation in one form or the other. It's got to be paid for with increased taxes now, increased taxes later, or basically through inflation, inflating away the debt. So we think that's going to be very positive, this drive towards increasing the efficiency of the government, which will then limit the kinds of tax increases we've seen over the last few years. And perhaps even continue to roll back taxes, leaving more for the private sector at the expense of sort of inefficiencies in the government sector.
There you have it right there. But let's keep going, because to build on the conversation here, Trump pitched massive $280 trillion price Bitcoin reserve to save the dollar. What's going on here? If you go into this, basically what it talks about here, it talks about the has helped Bitcoin price surge to record highs this year with plans to establish a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve. It says here the Bitcoin price has doubled since the summer lows, which we know. Now, as a leak reveals, Russia could beat the U.S. to a Bitcoin reserve. Trump has been pitched a capital markets renaissance fueled by Bitcoin to unlock trillions in wealth by MicroStrategy founder Michael Saylor. Coming into this, a strategic digital asset policy can strengthen the U.S. dollar, neutralize national debt, a position America as a global leader in the 21st century digital economy. And if you look at this, it goes down and says the document outlines plans for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve predicted to generate 16 to 81 trillion and offset U.S. national debt that spiraled to just over 36 trillion this year, solidifying the U.S. dollar as the foundation of the 21st century digital financial system. Look, this is where we are here. if they approve a strategic reserve or add Bitcoin to a stockpile reserve, which is not quite as strong a notion as the Bitcoin strategic reserve, nonetheless, it's good all the way around, isn't it? Right? And that's what we're waiting to find out here. And look, if they can use Bitcoin to help write off the debt, I'm down with it. Like, get it. Let's get this country back on track, right? Now let's hear if there's a demand here. This gentleman is asking basically, is there an institutional demand here leaving traditional investments and going into crypto? This is what she says from Signum.
To the next 12 months in that case, do you think this multiplier effect could intensify further?
Yes, indeed, it's demand.
There it is. Yes, indeed. It's demand with limited supply. And what else do we know to go along with this whole strategic reserve, stockpile reserve for Bitcoin? We've heard from a World Economic Forum member that he's hearing inside the transition team for Trump that they will, in fact, add other assets like U.S. assets. And wouldn't that make sense if those assets in the U.S., like XRP, XLM, XDC, and others, if those assets have no capital gains tax? How about that? Why wouldn't that also be in a strategic reserve, right? And we know Ripple recently donated $5 million in XRP to President-elect Trump's inaugural fund. How about that one? Oh, things are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love it. And then let's go here. This is the SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce. Shout out to Hester here. I love what she says. I long for the day, essentially, when people are having conversations at crypto conferences and they're not talking about the SEC. They're talking about the amazing innovation and technology. Shout out to Hester for this.
What would make Hester Peirce most happy to see done in 2025, potentially? As I threw a lot at you, whether it is kind of restaking or in-kind redemptions, things like that, what is it?
I mean, I would be happy if at the end of 2025, people were not, when we go to crypto conferences, the first thing people were talking about would be something other than SEC regulation. I want people to get to the point where the regulatory structure is there, they know what the rules are, they're complying with the rules, but they're spending their time talking about the technology and its potential. That would make me very happy.
What would make Hester Peirce most happy to see done?
And how about that? And we have a sea change. Paul Atkins is coming in. Brian Quintens for the CFTC. We got Steve Bissent, the U.S. Treasurer. All these people, crypto advocates. FTC, crypto supporter. Oh, we got more for you, too. Scott Kapoor says, thank you to President Trump for the opportunity to serve our country in helping Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and the entire Doge team, the Department of Government Efficiency, to make efficiency a central tenet of the federal government. Now, Scott Kapoor comes from Andreessen Horowitz now. Now, we got to start watching what's going on here, right? Because we know, in fact, that Scott Kapoor also met with Bill Hinman back in the ETHgate days, and his company attorney Lone Ness literally helped write what would become the Hinman speech. Later acknowledges that the Hinman speech makes tokens, chameleons, and was guidance, even infers on Twitter that there is no need for further SEC guidance. ETHgate gets exposed, and all of a sudden, Ethereum isn't protected anymore. His firm starts lobbying hard again, and now he's going to bring much-needed reform to our federal workforce. He says, hey, Scott, this is DAI's post, by the way. He says, hey, Scott, why don't you start by demanding the Bill Hinman IG report is released from the SEC? Gary is just sitting on it. And also, Scott, I hope you do well in your new position, but you guys owe XRP holders an explanation for what Bill Hinman did to hurt retail investors. This is exactly spot on, and I want to get it and find it for you very quickly here. This is the post that I was just reading to you here. So hopefully Scott comes in with the notion that he's working for the entire crypto space and not just some of it. And here we see a post here shared, and it is, I am pleased to announce the brilliant team that will be working in conjunction with our White House AI and crypto czar. Look at how all of this is coming together. This is key for us to know what's going on in these appointees, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to dictate what the next several years of our crypto existence looks like. So here we see, in conjunction with the White House AI and crypto czar David O. Sachs, together we will unleash scientific breakthroughs, ensure America's technological dominance, and usher in a golden age of American innovation. I'm telling you, America is a young country. This is our renaissance, ladies and gentlemen. Write it down. Michael J. Kratosis, I can't say it. I'm going to screw it up. Kratsios, let's say that. I think it is. So anyway, Michael will be the new director of the Office of White House Science and Technology Policy. Remember, all these agencies overlap, so it's key. And he goes on to say, Michael was unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate, Chief Technology Officer of the United States White House, and also served, and gives his whole background here. And we're going further here in a second, too. Additionally, Bo Hines was just named also to be the executive director of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets. The Crypto Council, a new advisory group composed of luminaries from the crypto industry and chaired by crypto czar David O. Sachs. Bo is a graduate of Yale University, Wake Forest University Law School. In his new role, Bo will work with David to foster innovation and growth in digital asset space, while ensuring industry leaders have the resources they need to succeed. Together, they will create an environment where this industry can flourish and remain a cornerstone of the nation's technological advancement. Now we're talking. Now, Suram Krishnan will serve as Senior Policy Advisor, Artificial Intelligence, in the White House for the Science and Technology Policy. So we got that as well. All of this is coming together so quickly, ladies and gentlemen. We have all of these people put in place, and we get an endorsement here from Christian Carlo, who will be at XRP Las Vegas, along with many, many others. Please go get your ticket. It makes a great Christmas gift. You won't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a remarkable conference. I promise you that. And I have a meeting in the first week of January. Oh, my goodness. If we can lock this person in, man, you're going to love it. Anyway, get your ticket. I promise you we will not let you down. And shout out to Chris for the endorsement. He says, an extraordinary crypto team and great step forward for the United States into the 21st century digital networks of value. Bravo, President Trump. Absolutely. Eleanor Tarrant highlighting the new executive director position for Presidential Crypto Council of Bo Hines. We'll have to see how he does. I couldn't find too much about him, but we're going to see what kind of job he does. He's impressed the administration, so let's go. And I want to play this for you now. This is Senator Cynthia Lummis here talking to Blockchain Association, and I want you to hear what she says about the appointments.
It was everywhere. Within the administration that is just leaving office, there was genuine unease to absolute hostility towards this industry. That is changing now, changing 180 degrees. So you have in the incoming administration a president-elect who is talking openly about digital assets, who has done transactions in digital assets, a vice president who has expertise in alternative coins and other digital assets. You have a new crypto czar. You have heads of Treasury, of the SEC, of the CFTC, and elsewhere in the administration coming in with expertise and advocacy for this industry. It is an absolute sea change. Now, when it comes to Wyoming, first.
It is an absolute sea change. There's no doubt about it, and I couldn't be more excited. And I tell you, it points to things like this, the Holy Grail. Imagine the opportunity once XRP reaches a very high price. The returns could be massive. There's no question about it. Elijah right here, who is launching tokenized T-bills on the XRP ledger, says this: the product offers a 1.5% yield. That seems low. What are the benefits of this product? This product is the first XRP ledger-based tokenized T-bill product designed to preserve your XRP principal. While offering returns based on real-world assets T-bills, it provides stable returns disconnected from the volatility of the crypto market. We plan to improve efficiency and yields in the future, and we will introduce new products with potentially higher returns, including real estate-backed offerings. This is remarkable. Says here, question, the maximum cap for this product is set at 40,000 XRP, which seems quite low. Why is the cap so low? Since this is the first product launched on the XRP ledger, we set a lower cap to prepare for any unforeseen issues due to overwhelming interest. The product sold out. How is the product implemented on the XRP ledger? The product integrates functions like custody, collateral, loans, and T-bill management, with each partner responsible for a specific component. These components are linked together in a single process. We plan to gradually enhance the platform to overcome the non-contractual limitations of the XRP ledger. Additionally, we expect to utilizing the real USD in the future will help improve the efficiency and simplify the process. This is where we're going. And then I want you to hear this. The real USD is launched. Ripple has made it clear that they will be using it for their enterprise customers and institutions early 2025. In 7 days, Tether will no longer be a compliant stablecoin, and it will be delisted in the EU with 27 nations. Should that happen here, what are we going to see if it happens here in the United States as well? Take a listen.
Yes, there's a lot of ways you can do that. One of them, one of the smoking guns, or it's not a smoking gun, it's a lot of smoke that I wish people would look into a little bit more is Tether. So we don't talk about Tether at all in the book. It's not mentioned once, but Tether is a stable coin that is sort of some of the financial plumbing and how money in crypto moves around.
Right.
There is an enormous amount of smoke around Tether. They have admitted, at least on one occasion, that the money that they claim to be sitting in cash is not actually there, and they're making a bunch of promises. Oh, we'll make good on the money, the coins that are supposed to be backed by US dollars. Tether is another one of these tools where if you wanted to run the price up, all you have to do is print up a bunch of Tethers. It's a small group of people that have the power to do this. You print up a bunch of Tethers, and then you go to the exchanges to buy up the Bitcoin, and the price would go through the roof, especially if you have like an unlimited amount of Tethers that you could buy. Now, this is speculation. I don't have hard evidence that this is the case. And like I said, we didn't even talk about this in the book at all. And yet, if I had to bet on it, I would say that is definitely happening in Bitcoin for the purpose of turning it into a pump and up system.
There you have it. And I believe that's why they have started to approve these ETFs this past year, so they could create a new source of liquidity for Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I do believe Tether is going to have a day of reckoning, and it will no longer be able to fuel that Ponzi and that pump and dump the way that this gentleman has just so eloquently broke down. This is getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen, not to mention the fact how much of those bonds and treasury positions will pour into something like the real USD should it find itself, Tether, find itself outside of compliance in the United States, just like it will in 7 days in the EU. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you in the golden age of crypto and the renaissance of the United States of America.